Hi there, everyone. It's me, Lilith, with another live here on Facebook and YouTube. It's been a really, really long time. Family has got to come first, and so I've been busy seeing to family and making sure everyone's nice and happy and everything is going smoothly. Hi there, everyone, and Roxanne or Roxy is behind the alternate badge for today, and she'll be popping in all the links for today. Hi there, Teresa. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Sue. Yes, long time no see, but I'm still around. I'm still around. Sometimes just life gets in the way. So there you go. So I hope you're all doing well. Um, Christmas is coming up really, really soon. I'm super, super excited. This year I have to work until the 24th. So we've got school until the 24th. So it's going to be really, really hectic. But I'm really happy that in 2 weeks we'll be home all together, the family, and we'll be able to celebrate this lovely season. And so I thought today I'll create some fun holiday inspired cards, but that you can adapt to any kind of celebration if you need to. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Cece. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. So I think a lot of you are regulars here. And so you do know how this works. Share this video while it is live, either here on Facebook or on YouTube. And we will pick a lucky winner at the end of this live session. Oh, Sue, I'm so happy you got to visit your son and grandson today. Well, this Saturday, it's going to be the first time I'm going to go out to dinner with my sisters and my brother, which has been very, very long. We haven't seen each other in, I think, over a year now with all the COVID. And with my dad being very ill, we haven't seen each other a lot because we kind of stay away from my parents and we try to make sure that he stays safe and sound. So I'm really excited about that. I do hope you've got some fun things planned this weekend. If you do, do share. So I'm going to switch my screens. I might just show you the star product today. It's going to be the half-tone stars stamp set and die set, which you can see here. This is one of our older sets, but it's one I keep using. I use all the half-tone series a lot. The half-tone hearts I use quite a lot as well too, and I love the half-tone stars. It has so many possibilities. You can make cards for boys or for men or for any kind of situation. Stars are great embellishments for scrapbook layouts, and I think you can also use these to create some fun holiday themed cards, especially with Christmas, which is coming up. And so I thought I would just pull an oldie but a goodie out. And I've also pulled out some nice fun sayings for for these cards. And I'm using the Warm Blessings stamp set, which you can see here. And it's got these lovely scripted sayings or sentiments with, once again, my favorite combination of a typed font and a scripted font. Thank you, Sue. It's so hard not to go and visit family and friends, but we try to keep each other safe. So I'm really happy we get to do this. We did have a little COVID scare here this week. My son, one of my sons who's off to college, tested positive. So he's been isolating in his room, getting full room service from me, like hotel, everything with his little tray in front of his door. He's living the best life. And so we had to be quarantined for a couple of days. We got ourselves tested yesterday and we were all negative, so we can go out and about again. He still has a couple of days to stay in his room, but we did have a little scare there. So I'm just going to pop you down and we can start crafting today. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on chatting. There we go. Here is all our pretty stuff. So I've already forgotten the name of the inks I've pulled out, which is silly me. Okay, I think the reds are Red Sunset. I've got Coral Bliss, Heartbeat, and Vineyard Berry. I thought those were colors that will work really well. I'm kind of a classic Christmas girl, so I do like my greens and my reds. So there we go. And the greens I have today, I'm just going to check my email to Roxanne because I'm really bad at remembering names. Green Valley Inks. So there we go, the Green Valley Inks. Yeah, my Avril, my son isn't ill at all. So he's just positive because he was in contact with one in his dormitory, but he hasn't been ill. So he's like just it's just because we got a call saying that he wasn't a high risk person. We had met somebody who had COVID, and so he had to get tested, and that's how we found out he was positive. But I mean, he's living his best life in his room with all his computers, and he's already studying for his exams in January, so he's not ill at all, which is really, really good because I don't want them to be ill at all. There we go. So here are our lovely products. So we've got our inks already. I've got my two stamps. I also pulled out the monochrome shading pencils. I don't know if I will use them. We'll just see how it goes. I have kind of an idea in my mind, but I don't know how it's going to go. I've got some scrap paper over here. Oh, yes, he's having some fun downtown time. He said he's watched everything he's got to watch on Netflix. So I sent him over to Prime. I've got some blue, navy blue cardstock from Altenew. And I've also got some piece of white cardstock. We'll just see how many different kinds of cards we can create with this lovely set. So let's have a look at the half-tone heart set. You can see it's a bit pinky and a bit reddish because I've used it so much. I love this set. I think it's one of the best sets ever. But I mean, all of the Altenew sets are really good, but this is one of my favorites. There we go. So we've got lots of fun little stars on here. And the fun thing about them is that you've got these kind of half-tone stars. So we've got full stars, and then we've got these half-tone stars, and they immediately create an ombre effect on your card, which I think is really, really, really cool. So the first card I'm going to do, we're not going to use the dies just yet. I'm going to create a really fun card over here. Just put that in the middle. So yeah, here I've got my green inks. So in the Green Valley set, we've got Firefly, Green Fields, Shadow Creek, and Mountain Pine. I just pulled these out. I think I'm going to go with the Mountain Pine one because this one really reminds me of the color of the pines, of the needles of a pine tree. There we go. And then Coral Bliss, Heartbeat, and Vineyard. I think I'm going to go with a Heartbeat. There we go. But you could go with lighter colors, darker colors. You could create the same card with like yellows and blues and create a different kind of feel. You could go with gray colors, lots of different options here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some masking tape through the middle of my card because I do want to mask the middle off. It does, Strawberry, it does. It gives you that immediate kind of ombre effect without having to do like too many techniques. I think it's one of I love this set. I think it's so versatile. And if you want to like start, I get the stars and the hearts. You can't go wrong with those. Okay. So I'm just going to mask off this part of this. Okay. So that when I stamp over this card, I'm not going to get any ink on the bottom side. So there we go. Let's get our hearts out. You could do this with your stamping tool. I'm just going to go easy, easy today. Let's just take out our stamping blocks from Altenew. Okay. I'm going to take the 4x3 inch one and then the 2x3 inch one. Thank you for sharing, Lizette. Just pop that chair a little bit closer. So I've got different size hearts here. And so I'm not going to take the largest one. I'll use that one a little bit later on. I think I'm going to use these two over here and then mix in some of the smaller ones as well. There we go. So let's start. It's been a long time since I've used these ones. I still haven't found my other eraser from Altenew, so I'm going to be using this little pen one. I'm sure my husband stole it. Oh, hi, Jen. No, you're not late. Never late. So I'm going to start with the red at the top. I'm going to use my heartbeat. I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Good little press. And the idea behind this is that you've got lots of like dots on it, and then the dots going to be closer together on one part, like it could be in the middle or on one side of the star, and then they kind of spread out as they go up, and it kind of immediately creates this kind of ombre effect. So I'm going to start by stamping over my masking tape, and don't forget to go over the edges as well. If you kind of cramp everything into the middle, it's a bit difficult to balance everything out nicely. I'm just going to give this a good press. Okay. And there we have it. And you can see you've got the darker shade over here and then the lighter one. Halftone hexagons, that would be lovely. That sounds so, so good. So I'm just going to ink this up again, and I'm going to try and just snap a part of that star at the top to kind of balance those sizes out as well. I'm going to just ink up part of my star. You don't need the whole bit. So let's just go like that. Yep. I could have inked it up a bit more. Okay, that's going to be fine. Just leave it as is. Give it a little wipe, a little clean, and then just pop it back on there. And I'm going to take my next size over here. See, it will fit in nicely over there. So again, let's just ink this up. Okay. Over there. The small one over there. And I'm just going to snap a little bit over there, like so. And now I just need to fill up that little part. Thank you for sharing, Jean. Everything has been so funny this year. Usually I do Christmas cards, but I think this year I'm going to keep it very simple. We usually go with photos and stuff like that. But with everything being so difficult at the moment, I think I'll just keep it really simple. There we go. Let's just kind of fill up this area. So I'm going to maybe use still a smaller size, and then I'll use a fourth one as well. There we go. Pretty. Once again, I'm kind of also filling up the empty spaces here a little bit to the side. That will just balance everything off nicely. And now I'm just going to use the smaller one. Good wipe, because we'll be using greens with this afterwards. I am a little bit nervous about Christmas Eve because I do have to teach, but not teach. We hand out reports, and we've got like a project at our school where the kids have been collecting presents for 2 people in my class, people who are in need, and we're going to give them like a huge box with presents. So we'll be finishing that off on the 24th as well. But it just means we're going to be really, really busy. And then at noon, we're off, and then I have to prepare everything for the evening. So I'm kind of a bit stressed. It is very easy strawberry. This is super, super fun and super easy to do. And it's a technique you can use with lots of different kinds of. So I'm just going to gently pull away the tape. Okay. I'm going to throw that away because it's got red ink on it. A little bit of tape left on there. There we go. And we're going to repeat the same thing, but we're going to do it with some green ink now. So once again, I'm just going to add a little bit of tape on there, but to the top part, so that when I stamp, I don't get any green onto my red part. It does look nice. And you could just stop here and just add a little bit of washi tape. Do that a little bit further. So I've got some tape down there, and we're going to just repeat the process again and use our little stamps over here. And I might just start with the smaller stamp instead of the larger stamp over there. And I'm going to go with Mountain Pine. So if you're looking to create Valentine's cards, you could just do this with a half-tone hearts, for example. There we go. Oh, thank you for sharing. There we go. Kind of pop a little bit down here as well. There we go. Okay, let's do the larger one because it's always more difficult to fit that one in. Okay, that's going to fit. Now we're going to do it like this. That should work nicely. This is such a pretty color. I love the mountain pine. You can almost smell the pine, the smell of pine trees. Let's go like this. Press. Fun thing with this set is that if you do get the die set, you can just use the die separately and cut out the fun stars from pattern paper and use that on your projects. Some small ones. We did this one, we did this one. That one. I think I'm going to get my larger one and just add that little stamp over there. Oh, that's too large. Put this back on. This one back on there. I'm just going to kind of stamp this at the bottom. Okay. Ooh, that would look really nice too, strawberry. Yeah, the Sunday layering stamp on here would look really great too. This is just a fun way to create backgrounds as well. There we go. I'm just going to fill this up a little bit. There we go. And I've got a little bit of a white spot over there, but I'm not going to worry too much because I still need to pop down my sentiment. So I can just place it over there if I need to. So now I'm just going to gently pull this away. There we go. So now we've got those two sides. I do want to kind of soften this transition. This looks a little bit harsh. Okay. This green is the mountain pine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a look at my, so here I've got my washi tapes, and I'm going to look at these fine washi tapes from Altenew. And I think the red one over here would look really great just to break that up. And I do have a green, and it does match. So I think I'm going to create a kind of line with that. Yes, 4th of July would work really well. We don't do that over here in Belgium, but I mean, this would be really good for those kind of cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop down the first one. What's fun about these is that you will kind of see through the tape a little bit. So it creates kind of a break in the card, but it's subtle as well. You will still see those elements shining through. There we go. So that just kind of softens the transition. And I put red at the bottom where we've got the green, and then green on the top where we've got the red. Okay. So we do have some really fun sentiments on here. Things like happy birthday, shine like the stars, make a wish, you are my lucky star. I love the sentiments on here, but we do want to, or I would really like to create something a little bit more holiday themed. So I'm going to use the Warm Blessings stamp set over here. And what I like about these is that they are very kind of general sentiments. So it's not necessarily Merry Christmas, but it's happy holidays, wishing you peace, 'tis the season, joy to the world, sending warm blessings, be merry, hear the angel voices. So it's the sentiments are very different than just the usual Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas. So there we go. So I like the happy holidays. I think I'm going to go with that. Okay, so I'm just going to take some white cardstock for this. And if you wanted to, you could go all red and green and replicate the red and green look on your sentiments. But I'm going to just go for a little bit more contrast. And I'm going to use my obsidian pigment ink, which is exceptionally crisp. And I confirm that it's exceptionally crisp, and it's my favorite. And I kind of put my stamp weirdly onto my stamping block, and I'm not going to feel comfortable stamping it. Just turn it around like that. Okay. And let's just kind of straighten that out so I can see if I'm stamping straight. There we go, give it a little bit of press. What you could also do is you could add some foiling if you wanted to this too. Lots of possibilities. So I've just stamped my happy holidays onto some white cardstock. And you can see how nice and crisp that is. I love those lovely little twirls. So pretty. And I'm just going to cut this out. Who I did just cut it out with my scissors. No, I think I'm going to. I'm a bit clumsy today, so I broke one of the baubles from the Christmas tree, my glass one. So I think I'm just going to take my cutting. There we go. There we go. Done. And it's a pretty large. I'm wondering if I'm going to cut around it. I'm going to cut around the edges. I used to do this a lot when I was doing layouts. I think I'm just going to cut around the edges of the sentiment. It's very large, and I want it to be something dainty. And I don't want it to cover up the whole background, which are just stamps. I really do need to sharpen my scissors. Let's just take some other scissors. These aren't really sharp. Why are you saying, oh no, Teresa? Because I'm cutting around the sentiment. Oh, I just snip that away. Okay. There you go. That's usually what I do, but my scissors aren't very sharp, so I really need to kind of, there we go. That's usually how I do my fussy cutting, is I move the paper instead of the scissors. So I really need to sharpen them. I remember before we had Altenew and all the other brands that were making these lovely stamps that with coordinating dies. And I used to kind of cut out all of my dies, cut out on paper. It took me ages. There we go. Happy holidays. There we go. Okay, let's just get some foam tape from Altenew. There we go. I do want it to stand up a bit, so I'm just going to do double foam tape. There we go. I have to snip some of it away because I don't want to have it peeking through. Oh, it's so sticky, which is a good thing. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to put the happy holidays over here. And now I'm going to have a look through my enamel dots and just add a couple of enamel dots in red and in green. Let's just see if I have some green which will match. Oh, that looks good. So I don't remember which ones these are from. Let me just check. These are my older, these are some of the older ones. This is the green fields. These are the green fields enamel dots, but it is really close. So I think I'm going to fill up some of these spaces over here, a couple of enamel dots. So just put 3 here on the green, and I'm going to do the same with the red. Just kind of filling in those little spaces over there. And using different sizes, of course. They do, don't they? Yes, you could. I mean, like, go horizontally, vertically. You could even do it diagonally. I think that would look really cool too. So it's very, very simple. Just some background stamping. You pop on some washi tape, some enamel dots, just to kind of break it up a little bit. You've got lots of lines, so there you've got your circles. And then that's why I think I also liked fussy cutting around it. Once again, you've got these kind of soft edges, circular motions, which kind of break up the lines. So there we go. You can see how simple it is, but just because we've picked out the colors, I think it's really, so like a nice holiday card, seasonal card. There we go. And you could just change it up. Go pink and green, spring. Go yellow and orange. Just like you can use so many cussings, so many colors. Cool. My brain is gone. Is on out. It's going out. I can't seem to talk correctly anymore. So let's go and work on our second card, which I wanted to be really, really simple. What I call like the clean and simple card. Okay. And I do hope, well, I might need to use this some background. So I'm going to use my largest star over here. I haven't got that much on my desk, but I seem to lose everything. Okay, let me just clean up this sentiment. Pop it back on here. Okay. So onto just some white cardstock. You probably have lots of scraps lying around. I'm going to stamp the largest one. I think I'm going to go with my Heartbeat. Or I might just change it up and go with Vineyard Berry. Just go a little bit darker. Now this one is going to be like the dots are really on top of each other here in the middle, and then they kind of fade out as you go out. So it's kind of a different look. I'm just going to stamp down here. We're going to cut it out, so it doesn't really matter where you stamp it. Press. This is a lot darker shade. Let's just get this a little clean. And I'm going to stamp another two. One in green. So let's go with the next size. This. And then a tinier one in red. I'm going to go with this one in red afterwards. Or let's just do it while we're at it. Red. There we go. And we will use the coordinating dies to cut them out. Super easy. And let's do this one in green. Once again, I'm going to use my mountain pine. I do love all these traditional colors. And I think it's coming back. I've seen it in a lot of stores where I am, like the green and the reds. So we've got our 3 stars on there. They look nice, just like that. These make great embellishments as well for cards, for layouts, sorry, or for maybe your journals or whatever. Super fun. You can make a whole lot in advance and just die cut them afterwards. So I'm going to take the coordinating dies. So we've got the larger one over here. Middle size one over there. Now I need my smaller one. I think is this one. Yep. Okay. I won't be able to cut them out all at once. But I can cut these two out with my larger die cut machine. You could fit these through the mini blossom, but you would have to stamp them maybe on a piece of cardstock that is 3 inches wide. Okay. So these are very easy to line up. Yep, make great tags. Perfect. I think I did that last year for the tags. I used these. I kind of made tags and I stuck these onto them and then I put the name on there. Very simple, very quick, but just personalizes your gifts. We don't do a lot of gifts here at Christmas because in Belgium the kids have what would they call in Dutch Sinterklaas. In French it's called Saint Nicolas. Whoops, which is on the 6th of December. So that's just gone, and so they usually get their presents there. So when it's Christmas, we do like useful gifts. Something you can use, something you can read. Hi there, Jean. We're from Florida. Must be nice and warm where you are. Here it's snowing. And you should see my desk. I'll tell my kids that all the presents are underneath my desk. So I've just cut these two out. You can see how simple that is. We do have a little white border, but I like that. I really do like that little white border. I'm just going to pull these away, like so. Oops. There we go. And just cut out the smaller one. I do hope this year we will have snow for Christmas. I don't think we've ever had snow on Christmas. So I returned from South Africa. We came back to Belgium in 1992 or 1991. And I don't really remember having, maybe once we had snow on Christmas. I would really, really like snow on Christmas. There we go. Third one. So I've got my 3 embellishments. I don't know how you use your elements on your cards, but I do like having 3 elements, groups of 3. Okay. Okay. Ooh, and I've already got tape sticking to my jumper. There we go. And I don't have to clean up anything today. I'll just clean it up tomorrow because we're doing hybrid again. So I'll be teaching from home. Oh, Jean, please do. I don't like the cold, but I do like snow on Christmas. I like looking at snow. Nice when it's nice and pretty outside. So we're going to keep very, very simple. Make a little star cluster like this. And I'm going to just stamp maybe my sentiment again. Let's choose a sentiment. Sentiment set. Line. Pop over. So what can I use? Tis the season. Be jolly. La 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 la. Oh, we were supposed to do like a concert. We were going to record it with our little. I sing in a little group at our music school, but our teacher has got COVID, so that's been cancelled too. Everything's being cancelled. Tis the season for snow. I'm making holiday-inspired cards with the half-tone hearts, Jean. But like I said earlier on, these techniques, you could just change out the colors, change out the sentiments, and then it could be something very different. Usually when I set the dinner table, I always have a little card for each person. And so I usually kind of create these. I think I'm going to use variations of these colors for the cards so I can give them to my sons and my husband. And I always write a little poem inside. So this little live session is helping me create those cards. Oh dear, is YouTube being funny? Should be okay. Oh, thank you, Sue, for sharing. I don't know that group. Sounds fun. Stamp Junkie Group. There we go. Look at me being such a good girl and using my trimmer to cut out all the sentiments. Okay, I've got my sentiments. I'm just going to get some twine. Oops. There we go. So I am going to add some doodled lines around the edges. I do like doing that, so let's go for that. This helps the sentiments stand out a little bit, especially now because we're making a very simple card. Okay. And I kind of doodle 2 or 3 lines. So I'm going to stick down the largest star. I'm going to use some tape from Ultimu. I love this foam tape. I think they should come out with the same thing, but in dots. The tape is great for like larger embellishments, but I need like little dots or smaller ones. There we go. I'm already going to pop that onto my sentiment. And I just need a little piece for the little star. Okay. Oh, this, yeah, it's a big, but look, I can see the cardboard. It used to be a lot fuller. This one I use all the time, all the time. It's like just thin, regular white twine. I've also got it in kind of cream color. So, my red over here. The red one I'm already going to stick down. So, and I think I'm going to wind some twine around the green one. Let me just see how I'm going to do it. So, get this correctly. Okay. And I'm just going to tie a little bow in there. I just wanted to add something a little bit different, some texture. So doing kind of a little bow. Okay, let's just cut off the excess here. Okay. Put the teeny tiny one here. Let me just see how I'm going to pop this. Okay, that's going to go there, and then I'll pop the red one underneath. So it is the season. Okay. And I'm going to take one of those tiny stars, full stars. So in the set, you've got a really, really tiny star. Or maybe I'll take the in-between one, or the tiny in-between. Let's just go with in-between. And I am going to, oh, I don't have my little block. I've lost an acrylic block. They are see-through and they always give me a hard time. Oh, it's over there. Silly. And I'm just going to stamp maybe a couple of stars over there. I'm wondering which color I'm going to do them. Probably green. I'm going to pop a little green star over there. And another one over here. And then another one at the top. There we go. And that's it. Very simple once again. Oh, me too, Sue. I love adding twine. So I would sometimes wrap it around a photo on a layout, for example, just to kind of break up if it's a photo with like something very plain in an area, I would just wrap something around it. And you can use thicker twine, thinner twine, just it's just a different texture that it adds to your project. So here we've got, so that's our second card. So this was our first card and our second card. And you can see very different styles, but they all match together. So there we go. Okay, we've still got some time for a third card. There we go. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Yes, they could be made in advance really easily. You could do a whole bunch of them in lots of like tiny variations, and so everyone will get like a little bit of a different card, but you will still just using the same techniques, and they're very, very simple. There we go. So last card, I thought it'd be nice just to show you something very different, and we're going to be working on a darker background like this. There we go. So what I'm going to do is once again, I'm going to stamp different stars onto some white cardstock. So the larger one, I don't think will fit on there. So once again, let's just go with some smaller ones. Let's just see how many I can get on there. Need some more white cardstock. Okay, I'll just stamp a couple of those and see how we go with it. So I'm going to change colors up just a little bit, just to show you how changing colors just gives a different feel to things. I'm going to go with Coral Bliss and Shadow Creek. There we go. So let's just start with our Coral Bliss. Just stamp that onto some cardstock. There we go. You could also use this and maybe take some pigment ink, some gold pigment ink, for example, and stamp that onto the blue. That would look wonderful. Very different. Okay, we'll just keep that for the green afterwards. Let's just go with some more Coral Bliss. Look at this, is such a pretty color. It's more of a pink, more of a pinkish, peachy pinkish tone to it. Peachy pinkish. Is that a word in English? There we go. Let's just stamp these two. Good press. Oh, they are so, I love this color. It's a bit darker on the screen. They're a lot lighter in person. It's such a pretty, pretty color. So pretty. It is now peachy pinkish. There we go. Okay, I can just keep those on there, and I'll just stamp some green as well. So we're going to go with Shadow Creek. What I think is lovely about Altenew, if you've got like 2 or 3 ink sets, you can do so many things with them. Just by, like with this stamp set, because we don't have layers, you can like just create variations by using different colors, which I think is great. You can go with lighter ones or darker ones and just change them up a little bit. There we go. We've got 2 smaller ones. We still need a larger one. There we go. Should fit on there. Okay. And you will see this kind of card, which I'm creating now. You could also create with the half-tone hearts. It's a really simple technique. You could also do this with flowers, floral images, with layered images. It's a really fun way to create a card. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut all of these out. Okay. So once again, I'm just going to pull out the dies. We've already got one here. Put on some tape. Now I just need my other dies. I kind of leave the masking tape sticking to it sometimes. I'm always afraid to lose them. No, this one doesn't stick anymore. And like I said, you don't need to use the stamps with these. You could just pop them onto some cardstock, colored cardstock, and cut them out, and you have some stars ready to go. Okay, let's take the die cut machine once again. Let's try and get 2 sets on here. Make a little sandwich. Oh, I remember when my kids used to fight over who would turn the die cut machine when they were little. Now they're big and they don't really want to help me anymore. There we go. Another one. Another one. There we go. I'm going to swap them out. There we go. Nearly done. Okay, pop that down. Ready to die. That's next one. There we go. And the last one. Let's just finish this off. Okay, that's done. Okay. And I think this would look really great with maybe some gold. You could also emboss it if you wanted to. There we go. So let's create a little card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an array of stars here on the side. So I'm going to line up stars, just see how I'm going to work with them. I've only got 6, so I've got to make them work. Okay, let's do that. Let's put them down like this. Once again, I'm going to use some tape. Let's just get the roll out. Snip and snip. One. Oh, I might just put a smaller one over here to kind of fill everything. I hope I'm not missing any comments. I hope I'm still live. Please tell me I am. There we go. Oops. Yep, I am live. Good. I was a little bit afraid there. Let's put this one there. More tape. Oh, thank you, Avril. I think I'm just going to kind of cut these in half and kind of pop them underneath. Just glue these on. There we go. Some green. I can maybe just pop them on top a little bit. I'm not happy with how it was better when I kind of laid it down first. Let me just try and make this work again. Nope. I want a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to try and repair the star again. Okay, let's repair the star. Tape. Oh yes, Becky. I'm making holiday inspired cards using the halftone hearts, but you could swap out the colors for any colors you like. Yay, repair the star. There we go. That's better. Xiomara's cooking. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to cut off all the excess along the sides like this. I'm just going to flip it over. There we go. And I'm going to try and fill up. I've got tiny stars here on there, and I'm going to kind of fill up little spaces with these little tiny stars, like so. I'm going to see if I've got any red ones. I don't know where I put my red enamel dots. Maybe I put them back in the bag. There's one over there. One over there. I think I just want to put some more enamel dots. I'll put some lighter green as well. Look, let's just stick with that. Okay, sentiments. Let's pick another sentiment just to finish off the card. Be merry. Be merry sounds good. Hear the angel voices. Oh, I like wishing you peace. Be merry. Be merry. There we go. And once again, change the sentiment. Happy birthday. You've got a birthday card. You could do it horizontally as well, like this. Okay, there we go. Merry. I think once again, I'm going to do some fussy cutting. Just because with the swirls. There we go. Slowly, slowly, slowly. There we go. This is kind of a more difficult swirl. There we go. I really need to sharpen my scissors. It's really playing dangerous for me. Fussy cutting with dull scissors. I wanted to do it in this kind. You could also go with kind of fits a little bit differently. You could also go in landscape, whatever pleases you, but I'm going to go like this just because this is how I kind of imagined it. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of tape, two little pieces of tape. I do want to kind of put it a little higher. Oh, Jackie. It could be a lot better if my scissors were sharp. And oops, let's just put it there. There we go. Okay, so you can see that popping up. Yeah, I think you would need a longer saying or something a bit bigger. So it's funny how you just, if you flip the card to one side, you do have to think differently about the sentiments and the elements you're going to pop on your card. It does change everything. I've always been cutting with large scissors. And once Lydia, I think when we were in England, she showed me her little small ones, and I tried, and I just couldn't. I think it's just a habit I have. It's cutting with larger ones. So there you go. So here you've got 3 cards using one set. So the halftone stars, and then a sentiment set with some holiday related sentiments. And look at those, they look really nice. And even though this one is on a blue background, they still all fit together. They're kind of all coordinated. So there you go. And the idea of this live was just to show you how you can create some really simple cards using a very simple stamp. And you can use these techniques to create other types of cards for other occasions. If it's spring, summer, birthdays, anniversaries, change out the colors. If you want to go really, really simple or really elegant, you could do like a gray on some maybe craft paper, or maybe some black cardstock, or a darker gray and a lighter gray on top. So you've got oodles of possibilities with this set. And I just love the look of the half-tone colors. And the ink has now had time to dry, and everything looks soft and crisp and really subtle. And I love the look of these half-tone stars. You could create a very similar look with the half-tone hearts. Oh, you're so welcome. I do like giving you different ideas and showing you how you can use the set. And that's when usually my sets, I try to get the most out of them. And once I have like a couple of techniques with one set, I use the techniques over and over. And I use the sets a lot more as well, because I know that I can get so much more out of them. Oh, Jackie. If you don't have any of the half-tone ones, I would strongly recommend getting one of them, because they are really, really, really fun to use. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this live session today. Ooh, I'm really super bright. And that you managed to pick up some ideas. If you did, please share them on social media. You can tag Altodo, or you can tag me. I'd love to see your cards. So I'm just going to show them like this. You can have a look at them. This was the one where we did the cutting out, a little bit of twine. This was the one with the fun background. And look, I've even got my mini Christmas tree in the background. And then the one on the darker background. So there you go. A huge shout out to Roxanne, who's been popping in all the links of all the products I've been using. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. And I hope you learned something new. Have a fun time crafting. Do share. I'd love to see. And if you want me to do anything special in one of our upcoming lives, you can always send me a little private message. Thank you, Avril. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Strawberry, go and get your thread. Happy Christmas, everyone, if I don't see you. But I think I'm back for a live after Christmas. if I'm not mistaken, on the 27th or 26th. So if you have some time, you can always stop by then. Have a lovely day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye, everyone.